What's up guys, how you doing today? Welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here and Nito is somewhere there. So today I want to talk about logistics, guys. I've been asked this question many times. Some of you know that I'm working in logistics, and I have been working in logistics for many years now. Not as many as you, like I'm not old, but yeah, I worked a lot here. I started from the bottom and I worked my way up. Not to the top yet, but yeah, I'm working on it, guys. I can tell you how much you can expect to make on different stages of your career. What are the opportunities are, how to get a job there, where do you start, where should you go? Like, I can answer all of those questions in this video. Let's talk about it right now. Let me start talking about myself. I started on the bottom. I started at the warehouse. I started by shipping, receiving boxes, containers at Nike warehouse in Toronto, biggest Nike warehouse in Canada. It was through a temporary agency, and that was extremely hard work for a minimum wage. Later on, I got another job. I was doing shipping and receiving, more of a delivery coordinator kind of a job, more logistics coordinator, but I was actually doing all of it. With that position, I was still picking boxes, I was still doing labor, I was still driving I started driving a forklift there, and I drove a forklift for a few years. Now, with forklift license in Canada, you can start making more money. Okay, so if you have a forklift license, you can drive a forklift. That's when, instead of getting the minimum wage, you start making minimum of 16 bucks an hour, at least 18 bucks an hour, 20, 21. So I was, when I started driving the forklift, I was already making 21 bucks an hour, which was almost double from what I used to make from where I started as the shipping receiving guy. Then I slowly moved into the trucking industry. I moved as a delivery coordinator for a trucking industry. Right now I'm working in oil and gas industry, also in logistics. It's a huge career, lots of opportunities. I'm a delivery coordinator right now, but I can tell you guys, if you want to get into logistics, it's going to take some time. Now, you don't really need much education in logistics. What you need is experience, and it would take you some time to get where you want to get. For example, most of the logistics guys, they started as a driver, they started as the shipper receiver, then they slowly worked their way up into the operations and they started doing coordinating jobs. They went into a supervisor's position, and that's how they became managers. So lots of people work their way up like that. Lots of people in Canada were actually driven by luck. Like, you know, there is lots of people who did it for many years, and a certain part of economy in Calgary, when the economy needed more employees, some people just got their promotions. It was way easier back then than it is now for us. But what I'm saying is, education does help you. But what I found on the industry here in Canada, it does not really matter much unless you're going for some fancy good company. Most of my managers, when I just joined logistics, look at this bridge, so cool, they didn't have any education, and it was frustrating. They were high school dropouts, and I had my master's degree and a training in logistics, diploma in logistics. I have my PMP, and you know, so much of education, and I had to work with those people who have no education. Let's talk a little bit about you, how you can get into logistics. First of all, tell me in the comments below what you want to do. Do you want to work in a warehouse? What kind of logistics are you interested in? Because logistics is huge in Canada. It's a huge industry with many fields. Like, if you are willing to become a truck owner operator, you own your trucking business, it's a totally different fish to fry. It's good. It's good money. You can expect to make good money if you have your own truck. There are many immigrants who start by driving for someone. There are people who go for a business person that has a contract with the company. They start driving, they start building their names. Later on, they start thinking of going on their own. They buy their own van, be it a truck or a cube van, minivan. Regardless, they start doing it on their own. They get their own contract, and as their own business, they do it. Those people, they start to subdivide into two classes. One class of people just drives and makes enough money. The other one is thinking, how can I make it a business? And those guys are the ones that are more successful, the business people. Because once you start making business, that's when you start making more money. Because you alone can do so much of things. And if you have a route of your own and you get another one, you can hire a driver to drive your truck, and then you keep a share of the income, because you pay for insurance, for fuel, for truck maintenance, and you have to make profit. Then you pay a wage to a driver and you keep the difference. That's how many immigrants are making good money, and that's another way of becoming a business person. In logistics, in trucking industry, it's huge. So you tell me what you want to do. Logistics is a big industry. There are many opportunities. You can have your own vehicle and drive it in the city. You can have a line haul truck and you can drive between the cities. The challenge is this: you make good money, but at the same time you're away from your family, you're on the road, it's not comfortable, you have to sleep in your truck sometimes, especially if you're a business owner and it's your own business. Then you just do whatever you do. That's a kind of a thing. And I think that logistics, being a business owner, is actually better. I've seen managers working many years in logistics, those guys who are bosses of those people who drive for them, and those people who drive for them making more money than those managers. This is hilarious, but that's true. You get paid for your entrepreneurship in this country. If you're entrepreneurial, you make more money. So you tell me what you want to do. If you want to be a trucker and truck own operator, that's one thing. But if you want to be going my way in career, working for someone, for another company as a coordinator, delivery coordinator like myself, or you want to be a supervisor, that's the next step for me in my career. But that's basically how you do it. You just have to apply for those jobs. It's good if you have some training in logistics. It's going to get you into a company. Also know this, that your wage depends on, one thing is experience, second thing is education, the third thing is most important is the company you're working for, and fourth is the industry company is in. So if you are working for some cheap trucking company that is just doing transportation, then you are not going to make much money. If you are working for a manufacturing company and you're doing logistics for them, you'll be making slightly more. If you get into oil and gas and logistics, you're going to make more money than in any other industry for logistics. That's just how it works. So tell me your situation right now, guys. You want to get into corporate world? What is the circumstances? You have education, you have training, you have experience. Start applying for good jobs. Start applying for coordinator position in logistics. It's pretty good. Try applying for a supervisor if you have managerial experience. That's how it works. If you say, hey Igor, I have no education, I don't want to study, what should I do? I still want to grow and I want to get into logistics. I'll say then, go from where I started with my education. Start as a shipper receiver. Get your forklift license. Start making more money. Get some experience there, build relationships, show your leadership skills, and start growing from there. New opening opens in the company, you apply for it and you get it, and you start growing from there. That's another way. Because education, as I said, it does not really matter in this sphere. If you are like, Igor, I don't have money, I want to have my own truck, I want to be a business owner, I need to get my foot in the door, where do I start? I say, guys, start getting your driver's license, get appropriate license for trucking. Start applying for those jobs who are searching for drivers. Start working as a driver, saving up some money. getting the experience and feeling that if you want to be in this industry, because the last thing you want is to get into this industry and then decide, well, I don't want to do it, it's too difficult. Well, it's too late. You already purchased a truck. What are you gonna do now? Just get yourself a job as a driver. Get a license, start driving. That's it. I'm going to tell you something unethical that happens in trucking industry. So what do people do to get their own business started? They get a job as a driver, driving for some business owner who has a contract, a route, or whatever it may be for another company. Slowly you start building relationships with people working for that company, and slowly you try and get yourself this contract or another contract with this company. You see, it's unethical. None of those owners, business people want you to do that, but it happens all the time. Trucking industry is savage, ruthless. People stab each other in the back to get more money. It's very challenging, it's unfair. And that's what people do. They get to drive and slowly they buy their own truck, get a contract from that company. Sometimes they even take away the contract that another person had just because they're more experienced. So why does that all happen, guys? If you're driving, you're a driver, you know your job, the company would rather keep you on the same job than even the person that has the contract for you to do that job. So sometimes they would just give it away. Sometimes the business owner would give it away. Sometimes the company is going to say, we don't want that guy no more. You're the best person for this job. We want to keep you. Here's the contract on your name. And now you finally become a business owner. So guys, there is a million of ways to get into logistics, working for someone or being your own business owner, but it is always challenging. There are many ways. Again, it's not only transportation, there is air freight, there is ocean, there is lots of stuff going on in logistics. You can work for a transportation company, you can work for manufacturers, you can work for whatever. Manufacturers do pay more, and the easiest way is start anywhere. Start in a warehouse, get your first ever kind of job. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you can say, I worked this many years in logistics. And then if you have a relevant education, it combines together and you get the position that you want, and that's how you get a job in logistics. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and we had an awesome walk in this creepy forest that doesn't look as scary as it is on the camera, but it is kind of creepy because I don't have my bear repellent, and there are bears here sometimes, so I have to be really careful, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment. We'll see you in next video. Have a good one, guys.